Well, welcome to the Isle of Skye. Here we are. As you can see, it's a bit of a horrid day up there, which is why everybody is indoors. So this is the front door. You can see we're parked up here, and that's the state of the trees out there. I'm going to close the door because we're suffering from some fairly horrendous weather. So I'll give you the opportunity to give you the tour of the shack. Now with any shack here, you notice that we've got shoes down the bottom here, but you can tell this is a radio house because we've got coax and coax, aerials and power leads ready to go when we actually load. So we've got our generator out there as a standby for when we've got power dips, which we've had one already, and trailer out there. And as you can see on the trailer, we've still got the Yagi, which we have not built yet, simply because the weather's just been too bad. So that's outside. And as we come through, I'll try and be a bit careful. Dave with important cup of tea, walking through there. So we've got one station here. Steve operating. We're on 40 metres on this one here. Thanks, Dave. We've got 40 metres running here on this station here. Okay, you can probably hear the weather. It's pretty bad out there. As you can see, typical Radio Shack. We've got radio bits everywhere. Compressor to get the masts up. I'll show you those in a minute. Mess, junk, mess. Horn, Simon's horn. Rotator. Again, we haven't put that in yet because it's just been too dire. We've got ourselves a nice hot fire here. And we've got the B station over here. Simon's and Steve's station over on the other side. That's the A station. This is the B station here. And we're on 20 metres here, tuned up. Configured, ready to go for 400 watts. There we go. Dave's ATU on top of my ATU, on top of my amp. Dave's radio, Dave's microphone. So that's all Dave's down there. So there we go. And Morse here. And we've got one antenna up here, and that's an MS0WCB antenna on a Scam 12. We didn't put it all the way up because it's just too bloody windy. So that's one antenna up there. I'll just come over here and I'll show you the other antenna. Out through the window there. That's the other one through there. That's just a trapped top band which goes to that fence. On that fence over there, you can't really see it, and I'm not going to go outside to show you. So that's alright. They're all looking tight out there still, aren't they? Yeah, just a look. Yeah, good on. And yeah, so this is the downstairs. We have facilities here, which is all very good. Kitchen here, and we were just having a laugh and joke about this. It's a typical shack kitchen because we've got spent beer here, and this is from last night, and a soldering iron. And Steve's been tinkering around already with some solar panels, which is all good. So yeah, that's it. I won't go upstairs because that's just bedrooms. That's all very nice, isn't it?
Mike Sierra Zero, Whiskey Charlie Bravo, Isle of Skye.
Tour outside the house. Show you what we've got. Now this is not in order of how we set things up, but I'll show you in order of what we have here. So let's start with the house. This is the accommodation that we've got. It's very nice inside, and I've got another video which shows you just a quick tour of the downstairs. 4 bedrooms, and we're very comfortable, very cosy. So there we go. Right, let's start over here. First of all, this is our newly erected 40-metre dipole. This is part of the W3 DZZ. It just hasn't got any traps on. So what we have is we have it elevated up to make it as square as possible. Right angles, I mean. That's a roach pole at the moment. That's one of the damaged roach poles that came down in the strong winds when we first came here. And as you can see, it clips on over to the next house over there. That one's using RG58 and goes over to shack number 1. So that's the first arrow. We follow this cable here. We'll walk away from the house and the wind, and we'll come to our first Scam mast. and this one at the moment is only up about 8 meters. It's not up full height. As you can see, the two sections are down at the bottom there, so it's not up full height at the moment. And this one is a trapped top band antenna, which honestly is a load of crap. Works alright on 80, it's just not in the right place for top band. But that's the first big antenna. That was actually the first antenna we put up, because when we arrived here we had strong winds. We had 60-mile winds and the rain was just unbelievable. That was the only antenna that we were able to put up, and that was the one that we were using most of the time. So there we go. This is another holiday cottage. Nobody's using it at the moment, which is all good. So we walk over here. We found another piece of card. So we found our second scam, and that one there again isn't up full height. We're not taking the mick. And this is an off-centre fed dipole made by MS0WCB, tied off at the fence, up over there, and tied off at the stairs at the back of the property. That has been doing the majority of the work for us, and that goes into the house, into shack number 2, or shack number 1, shack, the one with the amp anyway. That's the rotator that we have got. We haven't put it up, and we're not likely to. The wind is just too great, and it just takes the mick, to be honest with you. So that's antenna number 2. That's done a great job for us. Really good job. Indonesia, Yemen, etc. Over here we've got a small 3G antenna. That gives us all our internet connection. It's not quick, but it's a connection. Gets us out onto the interweb so we can communicate with people and let them know where we are. Now excuse the wind, and I will talk up in case you can't hear this. This is the old croft. This is another antenna that we've got. This is a folded dipole across 2 10-meter masts. They're up at about 8 meters. Everything is down significantly because of high winds, and as you can see, it's all guyed out. So we've got positive tension on the antenna, so it's pulling it inwards. So we've got positive tension everywhere, and you can see the guy lines are all fairly substantial, and this has not moved. This has been very, very stable, so it's done an absolutely cracking job for us. And so that's the that's been doing all right. That got to Japan, Thailand, South Africa. Where else did that get to this morning? Yeah, I think that's about it. The off-centre fed dipole, by the way, I wasn't kidding. We have got to Indonesia. Yemen's DX position over there, this 706T. Dave also contacted New Zealand on that one as well. So there we go. And there's the Yagi, our big boy Yagi, and we haven't put it up. We're not likely to put it up. There's also a couple more antennas in there as well, which again we haven't done yet, and I don't think we will. So that's the outside at the moment. That's likely to change anyway. Probably changing antennas around all the time, to be honest. But there we go. See you soon.